Detroit by Dark, an interactive internet theater. It's Earth just before Veterans Day this year. Veterans Day, as experienced by the entity. Most countries honor their veterans. On Veterans Day, the entity also honors veterans by picking them to fight for their territory. About 400 veterans will be teleported into the entity's Ichor, and they will fight their old foes. Whoever they fought in whatever war they were in. Though fierce warriors, this advantage is offset by the number of elderly within these ranks, some 100 years old. The territory, if it's a non-player character-owned territory, the territory gets a 5% chance to survive. No killer is generated. The foes that they face, that's the killer, but it's not a real killer. If devoured, a ghoulish monument will honor these veterans. There's no treasure, but that's kind of like the treasure that places a pile of screaming skulls on a monument in the middle of the corrupted territory. Which honors the veterans, of course. Honors our herpes. Okay. So, let's go back to Earth. So Earth had been attacked a week ago, and just like clockwork, it's going to be attacked on Veterans Day. And since the entity has such powerful mental abilities, as it approaches Earth, it feels the spirit of Veterans Day. But first, we'll have to go to the Cosmic Vault, where the entity resides. It didn't have a treasure last week. Last week was another holiday event, Halloween. I like Halloween, what the entity does on Halloween, but that'll be next year. Today, and then a week later, we have Veterans Day. Veterans Day is not really radically different than every week, but it's not like Halloween, but it's educational, as you will see. So, 4 hours before midnight, the entity goes into its faster-than-light travel. It actually takes 4 hours at light speed, faster-than-light travel, to go from the orbital... The vault is just outside the orbital plane of Neptune. Do I have it right? Okay, Google, what is the furthest planet from the sun? Neptune, I was correct. Okay. And it takes 4 hours at faster than light speed. Just faster than light. Basically light speed to get to Earth. I'm going to learn how to switch around without having you guys see all the inner guts while I do it. I'm going to learn. And random territory is picked. The entity... And I was thinking that the reason why it's a random territory is because of the 3-body problem, right? Like it's entering faster than light travel. It's coming out on Earth, which is being affected by a lot of different gravitational forces, which makes it impossible to predict where the entity will end up. So it zooms in on India. This section of India is called, there's a place called Chennai, which is probably the biggest part of it. Okay, Google, what is the population of Chennai?
The population of Chennai is estimated to be around 6.599 million as of 2024. However, the metropolitan area of Chennai of around 12.29 million.
Ooh, wow. I could have just made this Chennai. In fact, I'll have to. Here, I guess you'll watch me edit this. Can I do it in this? I can't do it here. So just Chennai itself, without this surrounding territory, is big enough to have 10 million people in it. I need to edit it. There we go. Edit. Right? So I don't need to use all these outside areas. That'll be for later. And it was hard to find out the population. All these little villages only have like maybe 100,000 people. But that's pretty cool that there's so many people in this one spot. And it's a non-player character owned territory. It's part of India. As you can see, a lot of India has been smashed already. The purple, this whole area, Karnataka fighting, this whole area, South India fighting, this area, Sri Lanka. But South Sri Lanka is a safe territory. It actually survived the entity. And how do I get over there? Here we go. This is South Sri Lanka, including all these islands out here. I missed these islands. Why don't I include these islands? There we go. Just for the fuck of it. Hello. Okay. So now we roll a D100, and they do not survive. They don't get 5%. So we go back to Google Earth. We find this territory. See it? It's called GCF, Greater Chennai Fighting. And we're going to color it purple. It's corrupted, and all the people are killed on Veterans Day. And we will read, I think I already did read, what happens on Veterans Day, but not the specifics of it. It is now purple, that little area. There we go. So see, India has a lot of people. And I was worried that I'm going to use up India before I get 100 territories, because India has 1 billion people, which would be 100 territories. And you see, these territories are big. Greater Jabalpur fighting, Madhya South Kushti. So I'll show some pictures. Veterans Day event this week. The entity pulls several hundred veterans of the Third Indo-Pak War, the Indian-Pakistani War, the third one of 1976. All of them in their 60s, my age. They fight versus their enemies from that war, which are the Pakistanis, generated by the entity. Of course, I'm not going to make Pakistanis a murderous killer in the Iker. That would be racist. So I won't do it. But the entity does generate their old foes, the Pakistanis. And they fight. They fight them, and they're enhanced. And it's terrible. It's a terrible nightmare for these men. The Indians lose. I will show you them in a second. Greater Chennai fighting is devoured. But in the middle of the corrupted, lifeless territory, one can find the Victory War Monument of Chennai, an actual war monument that It actually celebrates all the previous wars before 1976. It is adorned with 400 screaming skulls of the dead soldiers. War! Huh! What is it good for? Nothing! Oh, I was going to show you the pictures. Is that it? I can't get a picture that bigger than that. See, these guys in their 60s. They're India. They fought in that war. Here's the Victory War Monument. This is Chennai. I don't think Chennai is a very... that looks like a bustling downtown, but most of Chennai looks kind of squalid. It looked like squalor. A little bit. Why am I in my Discord? There's nobody there. So there's nobody here. Let me see if anybody's here, actually. You never know. I'm not monitoring my own channel. That's pretty much it, everybody. That's a quick one. There's one person. Hello. So that's pretty much it. The entity devours that territory, and Veterans Day in a very horrific way is celebrated by the entity. And thank you for watching.